1981 and the original Castle Wolfenstein has just been released. It was a stealth-based action-adventure shooter made by Mule Software, and for the time, it was quite good. The objective of the game, from what I can understand, is that your mission is to assassinate Adolf Hitler himself. To do this, you must sneak around Castle Wolfenstein and avoid detection along the way. It was groundbreaking in the stealth gaming genre and was good enough to earn itself a sequel in the form of Beyond Castle Wolfenstein. It was just like its predecessor, but with a few gameplay updates. Despite both games doing well commercially, Mule Software filed for bankruptcy in 1984 and ended up giving up their IP to new developers. One in particular we're looking at today is id Software. Created in 1991 by now gaming icons Adrian Carmack, John Carmack, Town Hall, and John Romero, it was looking to revitalize the franchise. At first, the team didn't use the World War II theme off the bat, but instead wanted to make a generic alien shooter, and it looked like this. Yep, definitely something else. However, John Romero, being a fan of the classic Wolfenstein games, wanted to remake those games with their brand of 3D technology. After finding out that the trademark had gone lapsed after the Muse's bankruptcy, they quickly bought it for a low price and officially rebooted the franchise. In 1992, id Software released Wolfenstein 3D on the MS-DOS, and throughout its life, it will be ported on a plethora of devices, some better than others. You can't deny that at the end of the day, Wolf 3D is the granddaddy of all modern FPS games, and it's because of that, it's my job to see that if it can still be enjoyed today. Before we dive deeper into the game, there's some stuff that I'd like to get out the way first. The narrative is like that of the older games, but it's a bit different. Oversimplifying for the sake of time, it focuses on a certain William B.J. Blazkowicz, a Polish-American spy sent in on the behalf of the Allied forces in World War II to infiltrate the Third Reich, to complete a series of missions, eventually ending in the death of the Führer and his empire. Now, Wolf 3D has countless versions and ways to play the game. The most common way to play is the DOS original, but the controls are a problem, mainly the mouse. Nowadays, when playing games like Call of Duty or Halo, WASD moves you and the mouse looks and shoots. But in this game, the mouse looks, shoots, and moves. To say that makes the game hard to play would be an understatement, as it's too easy to get stuck in a room filled with enemies and die. There is a way to circumvent this. Using Doom source ports such as GZ Doom and Z Doom modernizes the gameplay of Wolf 3D. Both are incredibly fun and easy to use. They allow for full mouse support, there are huge leaps in graphical presentation, and it's the best way to not only play Wolfenstein 3D, but any other early id Software games or Doom clones like Chex Quest. Yeah, really. No matter what version you play, the gameplay is still the same. There are 6 levels and the ability to play them in any order on any difficulty, with the simple objective being to get from the entrance to the exit while defending yourself from the German Nazis. One problem that I have here is the fact that the levels are incredibly maze-like. Much of the area looks the same and it's too easy to get lost. Thankfully, there is a map that you can use. Sprinkled throughout the game are a bunch of hidden rooms and secrets filled with many collectibles like chests, crosses, and crowns, all of which add up to your score at the end of the level. You can also get an extra life if you get 4,000 points, so it's just an added incentive to get you to look in every nook and cranny. You can also find health, ammo, and weapons. There are only 4 weapon types in this game, the basic 2 being the knife and the pistol. The other 2, like the submachine gun and chain gun, must be found manually. The pistol's okay in most situations, but it pales in comparison to the other 2. Not only do they have a higher rate of fire, but they're also good at boss fights and crowd control. The only drawback is that on higher difficulties, the ammo is scarce, so conserving it is vital. Definitely one of the more iconic additions to this game was the push walls. In designated spots, the player can access hidden rooms filled with the items previously mentioned. In the beginning, John Carmack was hostile towards the idea, believing it to be an ugly hack that hindered the game's development. But after months of back and forth, Carmack finally gave in. The brutal content in Wolfenstein 3D was incredibly unique. No other video game up to this point had this much realism. The release of the game was met with minor controversy over the world, but of course, as many know in Germany, the game is outright banned. A German federal law prohibits the use of Nazi imagery in media apart from educational purposes. Despite this, Wolfenstein went on to become a critical and commercial success and help establish the modern FPS genre as we know it. id Software themselves benefited greatly from this game. It made themselves a force to be reckoned with in the gaming industry, and will make history again with Doom just a year later. As of the recording of this video, Wolf 3D has sold over 200,000 copies, and I wouldn't be surprised if that number continues to grow. It's yet another innovative game that changed the gaming industry forever.